Be perfect, therefore, just like your Father is perfect. In other words, my Father is the model. Follow him. Do what he does. Say what he says. Live like he lives. And then you'll be a perfect father. Let's read the first thing he says about his Father. This is deep stuff for me. Matthew 11:27. Jesus speaking. He says, all things have been committed to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father. And no one knows the Father except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Now this is loaded. Look at the first line. He says, all things have been given to me by my Father. Let me ask you, you got how many sons? Four sons. This young man got 4 sons. And what this is telling us here is that you should accumulate something to give to your sons. I can stop right there and go home. If you are a father, you have to prove it by having something to pass on to your children. All that the Father has committed to me. Let me put it another way. Let's reverse it. Can you trust your kids with everything you built up? Have you trained them so well that you know they won't destroy it? Can you pass on the 30-year business you built to your children and trust them not to destroy it? That's what he said. The Father has committed everything to me. The Father trusts me so well. He knows he trained me so well. He could leave the inheritance to me. You, of course, I know what's going on in your mind, right? A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Can you be such a good father that what you're building, you're not just building a business, you're also building the children to keep it? How many people build a big business and lose their kids? And then when they die, their kids sell it off. You know, there was a hotel downtown in the Bahamas on Bay Street called the Corona Hotel. I don't know much about it, but it's one of the best restaurants I've ever ate at for years. A nice hotel. And then all of a sudden, someone just, I don't know, someone went crazy. And the hotel just stood there for years empty. And I think it's still empty after 20 years. I'm thinking, where are the children? Are you building a business, a ministry, a career that when you die it's gone and the kids got nothing? A good father can give everything he has to his children. Some men win their career and lose their family. When I was a kid, I made a decision that I'm going to have something to give my kids. When I think of some of the men in our country who have done very well, you know, most of them are from the other side of the track. Solomon and Sons, Pritchett and Sons, Milo Butler and Sons. So have you got you yet and sons? Will your sons have something to inherit? Now I know we got single mothers here and you're wondering, Pastor Myles, what about me? I can get to you later. But you see, we got to deal with the men. The men got to get their head on right. You have to have something to give over to your children. That's the perfect father. And then he says, no one knows the Son except the Father. How well do you know your son or your daughter? How well do you know your children, Father? Now, notice, it says no one knows the Son like the Father. This is important. You can't know your kids if you don't spend time with them. The average father doesn't have conversations with his daughter. And it's even worse with the sons. The average father never talks to his son except, pull up your pants, boy. Touch your hip. That's not conversation. You can't know me by keep commanding me. Do you know your daughter? Do you know what she's thinking, what she's feeling? Do you know about her menstruation, whether she have cramps or what? Do you know her? Do you know your child? That's what Jesus said, a good father. He knows his sons. You know, I spend time with my daughter and son. My son and I work together now, very much closer. But we always very close. And even more and more, it's getting better and better. My daughter and I spent a whole week together and talked to her about deep things. Your dreams. What are you feeling? How are you feeling? What's going on in your life? I want to know, what about your friends? What about your desires? Do you talk to your children on that level? No one knows me like my daddy, he says. Be like my father. And then he says, and no one knows my father except me. Boy, it's a tough one, eh? How well do your kids know you? Do you give them a chance to really know you? Your fears, your dreams, your doubts, your testimony? Do your kids know how you got saved and what you think about God? And do they know about your prayer life or how you study the Word? Do your kids know you too? A good father reveals himself to his children. You're so quiet. See, he said, if you would be perfect, be like my daddy. There are young people in this room, and I know I see them on the stage today, and some of them know nothing about their daddy. Never talks to them. And when he calls, it's this surface communication. How you doing? How's school? That's good. You got money? Okay. You got lunch? Good. Okay, see you later. That's not conversation, that's maintenance. They don't need maintenance, they need meditation. They need deep conversation. They need someone to give their heart to. Do your kids know you? The last part is heavy. He says, I can reveal my Father to people. I wonder what your kids tell other people about you. That's the question. I wonder what they say. He said kids reveal their fathers to other people. I don't ever see my daddy. Yeah, he comes in, but he comes in, he leaves in the morning, comes in the night while I'm sleeping. I never saw him. For 20 years of my life, my daddy been working. I never saw him. And right after lunch, on Sundays, he goes straight to the ball game. Doesn't take me. He's revealing you to people. What does your daughter say to people about you as a father? My daddy, child, he got his own life. I don't know where he is. Someone tell me they saw him with a woman. I don't know. In other words, what do they say about you? Jesus said a good father is able to allow his kids to talk to others about them. You know what's amazing? Even some of the wives don't know their fathers. I'm talking about their husbands. Husbands talk maintenance, talk to their wives. Pay the bills. Light bill paid. Mortgage paid. Good. And then he's gone. It's even worse. If the wife doesn't know the husband, there's no hope for the child. My job as pastor is not to teach you the ordeal. My job is to teach you the ideal. Whatever condition you experience now, I am not supposed to reduce God's standard to your conditions. Please forgive me if you're feeling funny this morning. I have to teach the ideal. We got to get men to come up to God's standard, not bring God's standard down to man's problems. And if you are a man here today, I hope that this message will cause you to act quickly and say, honey, you're 14 years old, but let's go for lunch. Why? God spoke to me today. I need to talk to you. I need you to talk to me. Your son is 28 years old. They still don't know you. Call him and say, son, forgive me. I have not been a perfect father, but I'm going to make up because you got another 80 years to live.